everyone, this is Kelly from The Truth and Story, and I am here because it is day 25 of the 31 days of tarot for January, and I am not going to miss it. But it will be a quick one tonight. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. So, I am just, oops, I got this. I am just a little brain dead, and I'm tired. So, I'm going to just plow through this because I'm not going to miss it. And so let's just get to it. I did want to show you one thing I did get in the mail. Brenda, she comments on my YouTube a lot, so you might know her name. She sent me the Book of Shadows. This is this one is the As Above tarot. This is one that I've actually been quite interested in. The only thing that stopped me from getting this in the past was the gnomes in the earth. I'm not really that fond of a whole bunch of garden gnomes for the earth suit. So that's the only thing that really stopped me. But she said, oh, I've got this, and she was going to send it on, or it just didn't resonate with her. So yes, so she sent me that, and I sent her the Steampunk Tarot. Now, as you all know, I love the Steampunk Tarot. I have nothing negative to say about the Steampunk Tarot whatsoever. I love the artwork. I love the steampunk theme. I love the girl knights. I think they're just awesome. It's very close to the Rider-Waite-Smith, but then it has some really cool deviations. Mostly just an art style. It's very Rider-Waite-Smith based. The book is fantastic. I just never used it. I mean, when I've had it for quite some time now, and I used it at the beginning, kind of getting to know it, sort of started to use it, just when you first get a deck, but I have never once grabbed for it since. So it's just one of those things where it ticks all the boxes in terms of I love the art, I love the steampunk theme, but I think that for some degrees is what has made me not use it. I don't know, because I use, I would have thought the same thing of the Bohemian Gothic, that it was, in fact, I did think it wouldn't be one I would use for clients, because it's too thematic, and it can, it's like a creepy thematic, but I've used it for a number of client readings already. So I don't know. It's one of those things, like I said, I love everything about it in theory, but I just never reached for it. So it's, one of my rules, it's trying to maintain rules, is that if I have absolutely, and this has been almost a year, that I've never picked it up and used it for readings, then it just needs to move on to somebody who will use it. But I have nothing bad to say about the deck. I actually quite like the deck a lot. It's one of those things. You don't know always what things are going to really connect until you get them in hand, and it might be the perfect artwork and everything, but for whatever reason, it's just not one you reach for. And so for me personally, right now, and I know there's people who will say, oh, you should keep it because of down the road. It's been almost a year. If I haven't grabbed for it in that long, I'm probably not going to grab for it. I have obviously other decks that supersede it. In whatever role it might fit in my reading, something else is filling that gap in a way that I grab for more. So I would prefer it to be with somebody who does. And if down the road I say, oh shoot, I should have kept that, I'll just get it again. Life won't be over. So anyway, so we kind of did a trade-off for the Book of Shadows As Above deck. The reason I was really interested in this deck is I love that the Major Arcana has been very much changed to do with like all of the sabots are shown. Like there is Mabon. See, I've got to learn that one still. I haven't gone through that one yet. You know, there's Yule. This we have a gorgeous Ostara. Oops, that's not. I can see that's not. There we go. Focusing Llamas. So I thought that this would help some Imbolc, which is coming up. Gorgeous. So I keep interrupting myself. There's Samhain, Litha. So that was one of the main reasons I wanted. Now this is actually one in which I may just use the majors, which that question came up before. Although I do like some of the minors as well. I haven't done a walkthrough of this yet. I just got it. I will do a walkthrough of it. You know, one of the suits, and I have to like go through it all to remember, because I have, again, I've looked this over closely because I was, you know, smidges away from just getting it myself, but the thing that stopped me was the gnomes in the pentacle suit, which I'll show you in a second. But what I like is each of the suits actually has to do with, each of the suits is based on different things. For example, the fire, which is normally associated with wands. So the wands, which are normally obviously the fire suit, are actually going across the astrological, uses astrological. So for example, the ace is the sun. Oops, I have it on 3. Maybe that would help if I would, yeah, so here we have the ace is the sun, then we have Mercury for 2, we have Venus, Mars, and it doesn't say that on here, but it does have the beautiful planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus for 7, Neptune, and Pluto. So see, it has all of them, and then number 10 is the stars. So I really love that a lot. And then the quartz are the elemental, so it's a fire salamander for this, and then it is a maiden, a mother, and the crone, triple goddess energies. And they actually have an older lady, you know, they do have the ages represented there. So I love that. So fire is the astrological, air is, represents different types of divination. I'm going to do a walkthrough of this probably actually tonight, just because I want to look at all the cards. And so you can see that. But air is the divination. Water is features and faces of the goddess, and earth is magic of the natural world and this particular planet. So I'm very excited to take a look at this deck. Again, it's not one of those perfect decks, which is why I hadn't bought it yet. Let me just show you the one card that I'm not all that thrilled with when it comes. It's really just the pentacle suit, to be honest. The element, maiden, mother, and crone. So, you know, the earth suit is these little gnomes. Now that's not bad. They're not horrible little gnomes. Actually, they're better in person than I thought they would be. The 10 of Pentacles, I think, is a little bit hilarious with all the little garden gnomes all over the world. But it's not as bad in person as it was, as I thought it was going to be. So I'm excited. I will be doing a walkthrough of this. It's quite a different deck. Here's the back. We have the triple aspects, and it is reversible. So I will be doing a walkthrough of that, and I'm excited to take a look at it. That is, I believe, a Lo Scarabeo deck. I don't have the box, although she did send it. She did send it in a pretty bag, which I thought was nice. She didn't have to do that, but that was nice. So yeah, so I swapped that for the Steampunk Tarot. Okay, enough of that. Enough of that. The question for today is, what was the most dramatic or meaningful reading you ever did? Not necessarily the most accurate. No real names, and trust your intuition with sharing certain information. That one's hard because I am truthfully one of these people that I love all of my readings. I really do. I really get into doing my readings. And so I very often, in the middle of multiple times in different readings, will be like, oh my gosh, I love my job. I love what I do. It's just so incredible every time something just crazy just happens that, you just don't expect. It's just a wonderful, or just tapping into it. It's just when you've connected in and you've really touched bases with somebody, it makes it very powerful. So I've had many powerful experiences. So I've had a lot of powerful experiences. So I really, and a couple that come to mind are not ones that I can share, in my opinion, without giving away very personal information. So I've had, generally it's the readings that are popping to mind the most do have to do with a lot of readings with people that have been more healing based, where they've had some really difficult issues that they needed to kind of reconcile and work through. And I just have had some just really powerful readings surrounding those kinds of healing type of readings that are just so on point and just so relevant and just so powerful. But I just don't see any way to discuss those, to be honest, without giving away personal information. One that I can share for myself, was the very first, because I do a Journey with Grief, which is just a 3-card reading, although it often, will expand, but it's the base is a 3-card reading. And the first time I did that for myself, because I'd actually read, and I have a video on this, but the very first time that I was reading a passage and it, talked about grief in a way that was very, it was like those kind of aha moments in the grieving process. And I thought, okay, that makes so much sense. And it really resonated. And then the very next moment, it was literally like, oh, and then the very next moment was like, I could do a spread off of that. Like there was an instant I thought that is something that would be a very powerful spread, and I did it for myself, and it was very, very powerful. Very, hit to the core of things. Actually helped me move forward in the grieving process. And my phone is crazy. Actually helped me to move forward in the grieving process. I thought I muted it, but that's never the case. So yeah, that was very, very powerful. And most of those, whenever I do those readings for clients, that's a very powerful thing, because again, that is based on the kind of healing and working through the grieving process is powerful. So, I guess that's really, I know that's, you want something juicy, but I just feel any of the ones that really jump forward, I just don't know how to discuss that without giving away personal information. So I will just say that they were always, those seems to the ones for me, sorry, the ones for me that really stand out are based along healings, reconciling past issues, and those kinds of things, where it's just been so connective and so healing, and it's meant so much to the person that I was reading for, like it really connected for them. That's such a powerful experience, to be able to hold space for somebody and to be able to be a part of their process. So that for me is probably the most powerful. But I really am one of those crazy crazy readers who I just get excited over every reading. I really do. I get excited about them. I just love, you know, trying to make sure I'm getting it across to people, and I get really worked up, and I'm very often have to stop myself from saying, oh my goodness, I love my job, because I really do. So, yeah, that is the best I can do with that question. So I should have had a deck, but I only have the Rackham Oracle, so I am going to go with the Rackham Oracle. I have been pretty much laying on the couch all day, and so I still feel a little bit funky. Not horrible, I just feel a little bit funky. And I'm getting hot, having sit. It's probably the longest I've sat up today, and so I'm definitely getting a little hot feeling again. However, I know they are messing, and I am by the furnace right here, so who knows. I just took a day off today. I was like, I'm just gonna, just in case, drink lots of tea, lots of honey, all that kind of stuff. So okay, so I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm just going to use my Rackham Oracle because it's right here, and I feel like that's just the best thing to do since my brain's not totally into gear right now. I've mostly, to be honest, been laying on the couch watching TV today. This is the longest I've sat up today. So I am just going to wrap this up. Oh dear. We must power through, right? So let's see. I do love this deck a lot. And by a lot, I mean a lot. And look at what we have. I think this card is so sweet. This is kind of far out, but I'm going to zoom in. This is Coterie, which is a circle of peers. But look. Look how cute. I don't know if it's focusing. Look how cute these guys are. They're these little fairy, buggy kind of fairy guys. Be little girls and boy fairies of some sort. And they are all banded together and going forward through life. This actually shows up for me, and it makes me smile whenever it does. We've got one's got his arm around the other, and they're all chit-chatting, and they're just so comfortable together. And I just love this card because it really does speak. I love how there's a lot of white space, and so your eye is immediately drawn to this group of little fairies here, and so it really does just speak to, you know, supporting each other, and which I feel like, you know, we've talked about this so many times on YouTube. You know, this community that's kind of it's not sprung up, it's been around for a long time, but for me it's like this new experience, kind of being part of this community and getting to know people. And even like in the live videos, it's great to see like everybody who normally comments, but then everybody being able to interact as well in the chat and having conversations and talking, and it just sort of brings this I think, oh, I thought I stuck it in there. It just brings that kind of feeling right to the surface, where you can visually see everybody kind of connecting and talking and sharing and supporting each other and pointing things out, and it's just fantastic. And so you know, so this card is kind of, I think, reinforcing that we need to allow other people to support us, because sometimes we need that message that says, you know what, you can't always go it alone. Sometimes you've got to let other people help you and support you. And it can also be the thing that says that you need to reach out and help other people, that you need to maybe, you know, tie yourself into that kind of a circle. It can be friends. Obviously, I'm not just talking about the YouTube community here, but also in real life, we have our groups of friends and things. And sometimes it's easy to isolate us off, especially, you know, after the holidays, everybody's kind of crashes, maybe had family overdose, and so everybody kind of has a retreat period. And so it may be a message that says, you know, reach out to your friends group. Your friend group's important. But I do really love this for us, because I do feel like we have, whoa, I hope that you guys can see that well, because it's so cute. But I am going to run. because I need to wrap this up. But everybody who has said, oh, feel better, thank you so much, because that is exactly what that card is talking about, is everybody sort of reaching out and being supportive. And I love this wonderful community, and I'm very appreciative of it. And so I just look forward to more and more as we go on, building that even closer. But even in your own lives, allow people to support you, and then you also be the support for those people. And that does create that beautiful energy exchange that we talk about all the time. So have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow.